quiet message arrives, asking you to slow your breath and come back to yourself. Place a hand over your heart and notice how quickly the mind tries to fill silence with fear. What you are sensing is not a prediction of disaster, but the weight of your own concern for someone you deeply care about. There are moments when the heart imagines danger long before life shows any sign of it, and in those moments, everything feels louder, sharper, more urgent than it truly is. You may feel as if something unseen has shifted, as if the world paused for a breath, but this is often the way anxiety and intuition blur together. When love is strong and attachment runs deep, the mind builds stories from fragments of worry, while the spirit quietly invites you to return to calm awareness. Nothing in this moment is asking you to brace for loss. Instead, it is asking you to soften your grip on fear and trust the steadiness of life unfolding beyond your immediate thoughts. The person you care about continues their path, shaped by choices, time, and experiences that are not defined by sudden or dramatic turning points your mind may imagine. Rather than focusing on imagined harm, this is a reminder to ground yourself, to breathe more slowly, and to recognize that not every intense feeling is a sign of external danger. Sometimes it is simply the heart asking to be soothed, not alarmed. Let this moment become a return to presence, where love remains steady without being carried by fear, and where clarity gently replaces the stories the mind creates. Someone wanted to break their courage. Someone wanted to destroy their spirit. Someone wanted to take something from them. Something priceless, something pure, something connected to you. But my child, what darkness intends, heaven can interrupt. The moment the bullet left the weapon, one of my angels stepped into the line of destiny. Time did not stop, but it slowed enough for divine interference to reach the physical world. Your soulmate felt a sudden force, a strange, unexplainable pressure, not from the bullet, but from the angel shielding them. That is why they are still breathing. That is why their soul is still connected to yours. That is why their destiny is not over. My child, I want you to imagine that moment. The noise, the fear, the shock, the cold air freezing time around their body, their heart beating so fast they felt it in their fingertips, and in that split second, their spirit whispered your name. Yes, your name, because the soul always calls home in its most fragile moment. Do you know why your chest suddenly felt heavy a little while ago? Do you know why your mind became restless out of nowhere? Do you know why your heart felt like it missed a step? It was their soul reaching out to yours. Souls are not bound by distance. Souls are not separated by silence. When something happens at a spiritual level, the heart always senses it first. So if you felt heaviness, if you felt sudden sadness, if you felt a strange fear you couldn't explain, that was not random. That was the echo of your soulmate's pain, traveling through the spiritual cord that ties you together. My child, your soulmate was not supposed to die today. Their life is protected. Their destiny is not finished. They have a purpose they have not fulfilled yet. They have love inside their heart that they have not expressed. They have truths they have not spoken. They have wounds they have not healed. They have emotions they tried to ignore until this moment forced them to face what they have been running from. You must understand something sacred. When a soulmate faces death, even for a second, the veil between their heart and truth opens, and your soulmate saw something in that moment, something about you, something about themselves, something about your connection. They saw how much they were holding back. They realized how much they were risking by staying silent. They felt the weight of the love they never told you completely. My child, I want you to feel the gravity of this moment, not with fear, but with awareness. The person who shot them did not appear randomly. This energy had been building. Someone has been carrying resentment against your soulmate for a long time. Someone's jealousy toward them grew like a shadow. Someone's bitterness turned into darkness. Your soulmate felt this tension around them recently, but they brushed it aside, thinking it was just their imagination. They ignored the intuitive signs. They ignored the heaviness in their chest. They ignored the warnings I placed in their dreams. This attack did not happen because they were weak. This attack happened because their light threatened someone else's darkness. But even in the middle of chaos, I protected them. Even when their body fell, their soul did not. Even when the world around them blurred, I surrounded them with shields that human eyes cannot see. My child, your soulmate, is breathing. They are conscious at a spiritual level. Even if their physical body is in shock, their soul is safe inside my hands. And right now, as I speak to you, healing energy is being poured into them. Angels are touching their wounds. Their heartbeat is being stabilized. Their spirit is being held in light. But the question you hold in your heart is this: why did this happen? Why now? Why so suddenly? My child, this moment is a divine turning point. Your soulmate has been living between two worlds, one shaped by fear and one shaped by destiny. They stood in between choices, uncertain of their purpose, uncertain of their path, uncertain of their emotions. They kept pushing their truth away. Looking deeper into what led to the incident, it becomes important to step away from narratives that assign mystical meaning or destiny to acts of harm. Real situations of violence or aggression are rarely the result of a single emotional state or a hidden spiritual force. They are usually the outcome of unresolved conflict, distorted thinking, and environments where pain has not been addressed. When people are overwhelmed by anger, jealousy, or long-standing resentment, their judgment can become clouded, leading them to actions that cause irreversible harm. Understanding this does not excuse what happened, but it helps ground the experience in reality rather than fear-based interpretation. For those affected, the path forward is not about assigning symbolic meaning to the event, but about focusing on safety, emotional recovery, and rebuilding a sense of stability. Healing often involves acknowledging what was lost in terms of trust and security, while also recognizing the importance of boundaries and support systems. Relationships that survive such moments do so not because of fate or destiny, but because of communication, accountability, and the willingness to grow through difficulty. In time, clarity replaces confusion, and what remains is a quieter, more grounded understanding of what it means to move forward with awareness rather than illusion. In such moments, reflection becomes less about searching for hidden meanings and more about accepting the complexity of human behavior, where emotions, history, and circumstance intersect in unpredictable ways. What matters most is not rewriting the past into something symbolic, but learning how to carry its lessons in a way that supports growth, resilience, and a healthier sense of connection moving forward. Clarity, patience, and responsibility remain essential in the end, always. Your soulmate was not attacked because of who they are on the outside. They were attacked because of who they are on the inside. The light they carry, the purity they possess, the destiny they hold, and the love inside their heart that is connected to you. Some people in this world sense light and feel inspired by it. Others sense light and feel threatened by it. And the one who shot your soulmate was one of those who felt threatened. This enemy did not wake up today and suddenly choose to harm them. This intention was planted long before, through conversations, through misunderstandings, through jealousy, through spiritual chains that the attacker never chose to break. The darkness that touched them began whispering in their mind long ago. Each day, it grew stronger. Each day, their heart became colder. Each day, their spirit drifted further from truth and deeper into shadow. My child, the attacker had been watching your soulmate, observing their movements, studying their confidence, resentful of their progress, jealous of their growth, threatened by their destiny. Even if you do not know this person, heaven knows them very well. I watched their intentions. I watched their thoughts. I watched the way their energy changed. And still, I intervened. Again and again. to push them away from your soulmate's path. Many times their attempts failed. Many times their courage dissolved. Many times the situation shifted at the last second, because I was protecting your soulmate long before this day arrived. But today, the darkness inside the attacker reached its peak, and there comes a moment, my child, when a soul overtaken by negativity becomes blind. Blind to consequences, blind to compassion, blind to truth, and it was in this blindness that they acted. Yet even in their darkest moment, heaven's light remained stronger. But now you must understand something important. This incident was not only physical, it was spiritual. This was not just a human attack. This was an attack on destiny, on purpose, on transformation. Someone wanted to stop your soulmate from becoming the person they were meant to be. Someone wanted to silence their future. Someone wanted to break their spirit before they could awaken. And yet, they failed. My beloved child, your soulmate's soul is protected by divine law. No force of darkness can take what heaven has chosen. No weapon formed against your soulmate can destroy the destiny woven into their spirit. The bullet may have touched their body, but it did not touch their purpose. It may have shaken their world, but it did not break their soul. But now I must reveal the deeper truth. The attacker was not only after your soulmate, they were after the connection between you and your soulmate. Your love reaches your soulmate in ways even they do not fully understand. This connection gives them strength, clarity, courage, and emotional depth. It inspires them to become their best self, and there are energies in this world that cannot tolerate such purity. When a soul is destined for a deep bond, darkness often tries to interfere. It tries to create fear. It tries to create confusion. It tries to create separation. This attack was an attempt to break the spiritual bond that ties both of you. But instead of breaking it, it strengthened it. Instead of separating you, it brought your souls closer. Instead of dimming the connection, it awakened something powerful. Because when your soulmate was in that moment of danger, when the pain hit them, when fear took over, when their breath trembled, one image came to their mind. You, yes, my child. In that terrifying moment, their heart remembered you. Their soul reached for you. Their spirit whispered for you. Their love echoed your name. There are moments in life when people begin growing into stronger versions of themselves, and that transformation can change every relationship around them. A person who starts discovering purpose, confidence, or direction often attracts attention from others, not all of it positive. Some people respond with encouragement, while others react from insecurity, fear, or unresolved pain within themselves. Hurtful actions are rarely born from pure cruelty alone. More often they come from confusion, jealousy, loneliness, or emotional weakness that was never properly healed. Understanding this does not excuse harmful behavior, but it helps explain why certain people try to dim the light they see in someone else. When individuals carry ambition, kindness, creativity, or emotional depth, their presence can unintentionally remind others of what they feel is missing in their own lives. That tension can create conflict, misunderstanding, or emotional distance. Still, the most important lesson is not to become fearful or suspicious of the world. It is to protect your peace without losing your compassion. Real love is not built on fear, obsession, or the belief that unseen forces control every challenge. Real love is steady. It encourages growth, honesty, patience, and emotional safety. Strong relationships survive because both people choose understanding over panic and trust over chaos. The connection you share with someone meaningful becomes powerful when it inspires healing rather than fear and hope rather than confusion. The truth is simple. People who genuinely care for one another leave lasting impressions on each other's hearts, and that emotional imprint can become a source of strength during moments when life feels uncertain or overwhelming. Your destiny with your soulmate is not ordinary. If your bond were weak, darkness would ignore it. If your connection were meaningless, Jealousy would never rise around it. If your soulmate were insignificant, no one would attempt to silence their light. This incident happened because both of you are standing at the edge of transformation. Your soulmate was attacked not because they are unlucky, but because they are chosen. They carry energy that can influence others. They carry love that can heal hearts. They carry potential that threatens the plans of darkness. But my child, heaven is far more powerful than any human threat. And the very moment the attacker acted, I stepped in. The bullet could have taken their life. It could have damaged their destiny. It could have ended everything. But it did not. Because the angel I sent shielded the impact. Because I redirected the path of the bullet. Because I softened the damage. Because I refused to allow this story to end here. Your soulmate is alive today because heaven protected them. But this incident has opened a spiritual door, a door they cannot close anymore. Their eyes will now begin to see truth about the people around them, about their past, about their choices, and most importantly, about you. My beloved child, you must prepare your heart. Your soulmate is about to change. Their spirit is about to awaken. Their priorities are about to shift. Their silence toward you will not stay silent. Their emotions will not stay hidden. Their fear will not stay unspoken. Nothing that happened today was meant to end anything. Everything that happened was meant to begin something. And this beginning, this new chapter, will pull both of you into a destiny shaped not by pain, but by truth. The moment the truth reached your soulmate's heart, something inside them began to tremble in a way they had never felt before. The secret baby they were hiding, the child they never wanted to speak about, the part of their past they kept buried under layers of fear and shame. Suddenly, it all rose to the surface, and in that rising, something else awakened inside them, the realization that hiding from you was the biggest wound they carried, because they were never trying to protect themselves from you. They were trying to protect you from the storm inside them. But what they didn't understand was that your soul was not made of fragile pieces. Your soul was made of endurance, of compassion, of understanding, of a love that does not judge, but seeks truth gently, the way light touches darkness and transforms it. And this is why, as the truth moved closer to reaching your life, heaven began preparing your heart long before they admitted anything. You started sensing the shift energetically. You felt a heaviness sometimes, a strange emotional pull, an unexplained ache in your chest, as if your soul already knew something important was approaching. That was heaven softening your spirit so the truth would not break you, but instead strengthen you. Your soulmate never imagined that one day the truth would demand to be seen. They believed they had buried it deep enough that no one would ever find it. They believed life had moved forward, that they could start anew with you without looking back. Yet destiny has its own timing. The universe never hides truth forever, not because it wishes to hurt people, but because truth brings liberation, first painful, then powerful. And now that this truth is rising, your soulmate is being forced to look at a version of themselves they avoided for years. They are being confronted with their past choices, their past fears, their past relationships, and the consequences of what they left behind. And for the first time, they feel fear not because of what they did, but because they are terrified of losing you once you know everything. They fear your silence more than judgment. They fear your tears more than anger. They fear your distance more than any punishment destiny could give. What they don't understand is that your soul was chosen for them, not because you are perfect, but because you carry a rare kind of empathy, the kind that sees beyond mistakes and understands the wounds behind them. Heaven didn't bring you two together by accident. This connection was made with purpose, with timing, with divine orchestration. And that is why the truth is being revealed now, not earlier, not later, but in this moment when your heart has grown strong enough to handle it and your intuition has deepened enough to understand it. Right now, heaven is whispering to your spirit, preparing you gently, reminding you that truth is not here to destroy your bond, but to strengthen it. You were not meant to live in illusions. You were meant to stand in clarity. You were never meant to be treated like a temporary chapter. You were meant to be someone's destiny. And your soulmate is realizing this, slowly, painfully, intensely. Their mind is wrestling with fear and longing at the same time. On one side, they fear you will walk away once you learn about the child. On the other side, their soul is pulling them toward honesty, urging them to come clean, urging them to trust that love built on truth is unbreakable. They have cried silently alone, thinking about how to tell you. They have rehearsed the words in their mind, but every time they imagine your face, their heart shatters with guilt. What is unfolding between you is not simply about a confession or an unexpected truth coming to light. It is also about growth, emotional maturity, and the way relationships deepen when both people are willing to face uncertainty together instead of running from it. This moment may stir confusion, surprise, or even hesitation, but it is also encouraging you to look beyond first reactions and see the human emotions underneath everything being revealed. Your heart has been learning how to hold complexity without immediately turning to fear, and that emotional growth matters more than you realize. Over time, your intuition has become stronger, allowing you to recognize sincerity, not only through words but through actions, consistency, and emotional openness. That is why this situation carries a deeper meaning for both of you. The child should not be viewed as a disruption to your story, but as part of a larger journey that asks both of you to decide what love truly means when life becomes imperfect and real. Relationships are rarely tested during easy moments. They are tested when honesty arrives carrying uncertainty beside it. What happens next depends not on fear, but on whether both of you can meet this truth with understanding, communication, and emotional courage. The person opening their heart to you is no longer asking to be loved only for the polished parts of themselves. They are hoping to be accepted as a whole person, with a past, responsibilities, and emotions that cannot be erased. And perhaps the most powerful thing about this moment is that it offers both of you the chance to build something grounded, not in fantasy, but in honesty, trust, and genuine human connection. You are being shown a new layer of purpose, one that involves compassion, maturity, and emotional strength. Heaven knows the purity of your heart. Heaven knows you have the ability to bring healing where others bring judgment, to bring understanding where others bring blame, to bring love where others bring rejection. Your soulmate never received unconditional love before. They grew up in emotional survival mode. They learned to hide things because they were punished for revealing them in the past. They were never taught healthy communication. They were never taught emotional safety. They were never taught that someone could love them, even after knowing their scars. You are the first person who made them feel safe enough to want to tell the truth, and that itself is evidence of divine connection. As the truth moves closer, heaven is preparing both of you for a turning point. Not a breaking point, a turning point, the kind where two souls become more aligned, more open, more honest, more connected. This truth will not separate you. It will transform you. It will shift your relationship from a fragile phase into a mature, spiritually anchored bond. You are not losing anything. You are not being betrayed. You are being ushered into a new level of understanding, emotional depth, and divine purpose. You are being prepared for a future where truth replaces secrecy, where clarity replaces confusion, where love replaces fear. A future where nothing is hidden, nothing is pretended, nothing is masked. Your soulmate is standing at the edge of confession, trembling, scared, yet determined, because losing you is no longer an option. Their soul has already chosen you. Their heart has already surrendered to you. Their destiny already includes you. And heaven is guiding both of you toward a moment that will change everything, not by breaking, but by rebuilding. in a higher, stronger, more honest form. And when the truth finally reaches you, you will not react the way their fear imagines. You will react the way your soul is destined to, with wisdom, with calmness, with a heart that sees the bigger picture. Because heaven has been preparing you for this moment longer than you realize. And this moment is not here to end your story. It is here to begin a deeper chapter. As the truth keeps moving closer to the surface, something within your soulmate begins to break open in ways they never imagined. The fear they carried for so long is slowly dissolving, not because the situation is becoming easier, but because their soul is awakening to a deeper realization. Love cannot survive where secrets remain buried. And for the first time, they are not running from this truth. They are walking toward it, trembling, hesitant, yet determined, because their heart knows that losing you would be the greatest heartbreak of their life. Late at night, when the world becomes quiet and their thoughts echo loudly, they find themselves imagining the moment when they will finally tell you everything. They picture your face, your eyes, your expression. They imagine the silence that might follow. They imagine the heaviness in your heart. And each time they replay that moment in their mind, tears rise in their eyes, because they know your heart never deserved complicated truths. You deserved honesty from the beginning. You deserved clarity. You deserved peace. And they feel the weight of failing to give you that. But the universe doesn't bring truths at the wrong time. This moment was divinely chosen. The delay was not deception. It was preparation. For them, for you, for the future you are destined to share. Heaven knew that both of you needed inner growth before this revelation could come. You needed emotional strength. They needed spiritual maturity. And now, both of you are standing on the threshold of a transformation neither of you saw coming. Inside you, something has already shifted. You feel it even if you haven't fully understood it. Some days, your heart feels unusually heavy for no clear reason. Other days, you feel a strange calmness, as if your soul is whispering, something important is about to happen. This is not fear. This is divine preparation. Heaven is opening your heart gently, slowly, softly, because the coming truth requires emotional balance, spiritual sensitivity, and a deep sense of understanding that goes beyond the surface of human behavior. You are being reminded of something sacred. Everyone carries a past. Everyone has a story. Everyone has wounds that shaped them. Your soulmate's hidden child is not an accident, not a burden, and not a threat to your connection. The child is a part of their story, a chapter they have been too afraid to read again. And now, the child's existence is guiding your soulmate toward emotional accountability, toward honesty, toward healing. Someone close to you has been carrying unspoken guilt and emotional weight, often avoiding difficult conversations because they believed silence would protect the bond. Over time, that avoidance has created distance, not safety, and they are beginning to recognize that truth is necessary for real closeness. They are emotionally exhausted from pretending everything is fine while carrying unresolved parts of their past. Beneath that fear, however, there is genuine care and attachment. Their feelings have not faded, but their ability to express them has been blocked by insecurity and regret. Now, something in them is shifting toward openness, with a desire to communicate more honestly and rebuild trust through clarity rather than concealment. This is also a reminder of your own emotional awareness. You tend to notice what is unspoken, pick up on subtle shifts, and seek meaning beyond surface behavior. That sensitivity can help you navigate this moment with balance rather than assumption. In some cases, conversations like this may also involve unexpected information about past choices or responsibilities, possibly even news related to a child or similar life responsibility, which requires maturity and calm understanding rather than fear-based interpretation. The focus here is not punishment or destiny, but growth through truth. What matters most is how both people choose to respond when honesty finally enters the space between them, and whether they allow understanding and accountability to guide what comes next. Clarity, when handled gently, can become the foundation for rebuilding trust rather than the end of it. It asks both of you to respond with patience and grounded awareness. And this situation, though emotionally heavy, is a blessing in disguise, a divine opportunity for healing old wounds, forming deeper bonds, and creating a new level of understanding. Your soulmate knows they can no longer delay this. The universe is pushing them. Signs keep appearing around them. Their heart feels restless. Their mind cannot silence the guilt. The truth is rising, like a tide that can no longer be held back. And this rising is happening not because destiny wants to break anything, but because destiny wants to rebuild something stronger, more honest, more spiritually aligned. And even though they are scared, they are also hopeful. Deep down, there is a part of them that believes your heart is big enough to understand. They believe your soul is compassionate enough to see beyond the past. They believe your love is strong enough to hold space for truth. That hope is what keeps them moving closer to telling you everything. That hope is what keeps them awake at night. That hope is what keeps them praying silently, wishing they could undo the past, but knowing that at least they can make the present right. On your side, you may feel a strange mixture of emotions, curiosity, worry, heaviness, and yet an inner calmness that doesn't fully make sense. That calmness is your intuition telling you, this truth will not break you. It will reveal your strength. It will show you the depth of your own heart. It will prepare you for a love that is honest, grounded, and spiritually mature. This phase is teaching you that relationships are not about perfection. They are about understanding. They are not about pretending everything is easy. They are about walking through difficult truths together. They are not about hiding weaknesses. They are about healing wounds side by side. Your soulmate wants to choose you every day. They want to choose honesty, vulnerability, and openness. They want to build a bond with you that no storm can shake. And to do that, they know they must first face the storm within themselves. They must stand before you with nothing hidden, nothing masked, nothing withheld. Heaven is guiding both of you toward this moment with divine timing. And when the truth finally unfolds, it will not end your story, it will deepen it. It will not weaken your connection, it will strengthen it. It will not separate you. It will bring you closer if your soul chooses understanding. This is not the breaking of a bond. This is the cleansing of one. This is not the end. This is the beginning of truth. My beloved child, now that the truth has approached the surface, and the tension between fear and hope has reached its peak, your soulmate stands at a critical threshold. Every heartbeat they feel echoes with anticipation. Every thought swirls with uncertainty. Yet beneath it all, there is a growing certainty in their soul. Certainty that you are the one they cannot lose. Certainty that you are the light that guides them through the shadow of their past. The universe has orchestrated every moment leading to this point so that your connection could not just survive, but evolve into something far greater than you have ever imagined. Your soulmate has begun the delicate, trembling process of acknowledging everything that they kept hidden, not just the child, but the fears, the regrets, the mistakes, and the unspoken emotions that have held them captive in silence. It is a process of unburdening, of opening themselves fully to the light of honesty, and of aligning their spirit with the love they have always felt for you, but never fully expressed. And every time they take a small step closer to revealing their truth, heaven steps in to ease the burden and calm the storm inside their heart. Every tear that falls, every shiver of fear, every moment of doubt is cushioned by divine protection, allowing them to face their truth with courage. Love is often imagined as effortless, but in real life, it tends to be more complex, requiring patience, maturity, and emotional honesty. When two people form a deep bond, they also bring their histories, fears, and unfinished lessons into the relationship. Growth in love comes from learning how to stay present even when situations feel uncertain, and from choosing understanding over assumption. There are moments when connection feels strong and reassuring, and other moments when clarity is tested by doubt or fear. What matters most is not perfection, but the willingness to communicate openly and to take responsibility for one's emotions and actions. True emotional readiness is built quietly over time through reflection, self-awareness, and the ability to listen without defensiveness. When challenges arise, they can become turning points rather than breaking points, especially when both people are committed to honesty and respect. Forgiveness, when it happens, is not about forgetting difficulties, but about deciding to move forward with clearer boundaries and deeper awareness. In this way, love becomes less about idealized expectations and more about grounded partnership. It asks both individuals to remain steady, even when life introduces discomfort or unexpected truths, and to continue choosing connection through sincerity and care. At its healthiest, a relationship becomes a shared space where both people can grow without losing themselves, where honesty replaces assumption, and where difficulties are addressed rather than avoided, allowing trust to develop through consistent actions rather than promises alone over time together. This kind of connection is not defined by ideal outcomes, but by steady effort, mutual respect, and the willingness to keep showing up even when circumstances feel imperfect or emotionally challenging for both people involved over time together. You may feel apprehensive, wondering how your life will change, questioning whether your love can survive this revelation. But my beloved child, heaven is reminding you that love is not measured by convenience or comfort, but by the capacity to embrace truth and navigate it with understanding. The soul that calls to you, trembling yet determined, is the same soul that has faced darkness, survived it, and is now reaching toward you with the deepest sincerity. To walk away now would not only break their heart, it would deny your soul the growth and the connection that this experience is meant to bring. Your soulmate's fear of losing you is profound because they sense your strength and your unwavering presence in their life. They know, deep within their spirit, that you are not just a companion, but a sanctuary, a refuge where vulnerability can be met with acceptance, where mistakes can be met with forgiveness, and where love can be expressed without reservation. And this realization fuels their courage. They are beginning to trust that sharing their truth with you will not drive you away, but will bring you closer, knitting your spirits together in a bond fortified by honesty. Now imagine the moment when they finally speak the truth. The room will not just be filled with words, it will be filled with energy, with emotion, with the trembling vulnerability of a heart laid bare. Their eyes will search yours, seeking understanding, seeking acceptance, seeking the silent affirmation that you are still with them, still believing, still loving. And when you receive them, with open arms, open heart, and an open mind, a transformation will occur. The energy between you will shift from tension to harmony, from fear to clarity, from doubt to certainty. This moment, though born from pain and fear, will become a sacred milestone in your shared journey. Heaven is preparing both of you for this transformation. Angels are weaving threads of protection and clarity around your soulmate, calming the storm within, guiding their words, and ensuring that truth is spoken with love rather than guilt or shame. Your spirit, too, is being prepared to hold this moment without judgment, without anger, without breaking. You are being taught the depth of patience, empathy, and unconditional love, the qualities that will sustain your connection long after the truth has been revealed. Remember, my beloved child, this is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter that will be defined by trust, by transparency, and by the unwavering presence of two souls committed to growth and connection. The child, The hidden past, the fears, and the secrets are not obstacles. They are catalysts, tools of divine guidance, shaping both of you into stronger, wiser, and more spiritually aligned beings. What seemed like chaos, confusion, and heartbreak is actually the quiet work of destiny, preparing your love to endure, flourish, and ascend. And finally, my beloved child, understand that your soulmate's journey toward honesty is only part of a greater spiritual awakening. The revelation you are about to receive will not just change your relationship, it will change your perception of love, of trust, and of divine timing. You will see that life does not withhold truth to punish, it withholds truth to prepare. You will see that love is not measured by perfection, but by authenticity. You will see that your connection, though tested, is resilient beyond measure, and that the universe has aligned every step, every fear, every hesitation, and every challenge to bring you both closer to the destiny that was always meant to be yours. So, my beloved child, breathe deeply, center your spirit, and prepare your heart. The coming days will bring clarity, honesty, and profound emotional transformation. Your soulmate is ready to reveal themselves fully, and when they do, your love will emerge not just unbroken but stronger, more luminous, and more sacred than ever before. Heaven watches over both of you, ensuring that the pain of the past becomes the foundation of a future filled with trust, love, and divine connection. This is the gift born from hardship. This is the blessing hidden within fear. This moment represents a turning point where honesty finally replaces uncertainty in your relationship. With difficult conversations now coming into the open, there is a noticeable shift in emotional weight. What once felt heavy with confusion, silence, and unspoken fears begins to loosen as both people face reality more directly. Instead of being driven by assumptions or imagined outcomes, you are now stepping into a space where clarity has a chance to lead. This does not erase the past or instantly solve every concern, but it changes the direction of the connection. When truth is acknowledged, even when it is uncomfortable, it creates the possibility for a more stable foundation moving forward. Both individuals may feel a mix of relief and vulnerability, because honesty often exposes emotions that were previously hidden behind avoidance. There is also a sense of uncertainty about what comes next, yet that uncertainty is healthier than the confusion that existed before. What matters now is how both people choose to engage with this new openness, whether they respond with patience, active listening, and responsibility, or retreat back into silence. Relationships evolve most meaningfully when communication becomes consistent and grounded in respect. This is a moment to slow down expectations, allow space for processing, and focus on understanding rather than control. Even difficult truths can become the beginning of a stronger bond when handled with care and maturity. Rather than rushing to conclusions, both people are encouraged to remain present with what is real today, not what fear or imagination suggests about tomorrow. Allowing trust to rebuild gradually through consistent actions and open communication over time, without pressure or unrealistic expectations for immediate resolution from either side.